Oh, wow, wow, wow. We are live now. This is Increased Capacity Tribe Conference Day 7, the grand finale. We have another respected leader across the globe. I have informed you all to stay tuned to this section because we can't afford to leave this conference without we getting what is needed for us for the next level. So, to this time, I want us to know that capacity is the increase of either to meet an actual immediate increase in demand or anticipate increase in demand. So, it's the ability to do something. So, this time we'll be going live with another reputable leader across the globe in the person of Isabel Health Fiafilio from reputed country in USA. Now that keynote section on resilience as a tool for growth. Now over to you, Ma. You can take over your section live. Can you hear me now?
Okay, yes, thank you for the presentation, Joshua. Um, okay, and I would like to start my presentation. The focus is about the resilience as a tool of group, and I consider this important this word because it's was a good word for my life around my career. Um, but I would like to start with had a different focus. For example, in my case, I considered the Sustainable Development Goals, but of United Nations, such as one of opportunity to contribute with my career and in relation with my growth in my life. And for example, the Sustainable Development Goals emphasize the fulfillment of the 2030 Agenda, which are 17 goals were established. So that all actions that we can perform in some way related to SDGs, either in one, two, or more goals. And I considered what is important to consider in depend of the points or the view of points about the Agenda 2030 is for example the agenda reflects the need of children, young persons with disabilities. For example, more than 18% of whom live in poverty. People living in a with a other situation, indigenous people, refugees, and internally displaced persons and migrants among. I focus with not only the children or with the young people. It's necessary to consider or have the opportunity to focus on different projects, different points view in relation with the global person. And going to the quote, what mentioned is the Sustainable Development Goals and who are the main people involved in approach towards 2030. And I consider other situation, for example, to the end to the poverty in all its form and dimension, including eradicate extreme poverty for the 2030, and all people should enjoy the basic standard of living, including a true social protection system. Other point is about the race of ethnicity, including the person with disabilities, migrant indigenous people, and what have access to lifelong learning about opportunity to help the incredible knowledge and skills necessary to take advantage of the opportunity and participate fall in society. We are also committed to ensuring universal access to the sexual and reproductive health. Services include family planning, information, and education. For example, we will work to build dynamic, sustainable, innovative, um, people-centered economics, promoting, in particular, job employment and women's economic empowerment, as well as the same work as all, or for all people. We will eradicate forced labor and human trafficking, and end child labor in all its forms. I consider these points because, for example, in my case, I have opportunity to contribute in different topics, in not only education, in not only innovation, or work with young people. Necessary to now to have um, a group of people what have what the people works in this in different topic to create this space to speak another different group with another different group, in special if not only with the young people, necessary to share this experience, to share this different idea about what happened about the young people, what happened about the indigenous people, or other different characteristic, whether it is important to share experience, not only knowledge, necessary to investigate more, more or create more spaces to create more information and discuss with different people. In my case, I consider this had different opportunity to create this space and generate a different space to discuss about the different problems around the world. And this space is necessary to create different idea and follow in the next steps. For example, in the next step is not only they have the knowledge about the different problems necessary, contribute to the second or third steps. For example, create a project or contribute in different NGOs, and it's necessary to development in personal development, not only with create space to. Although okay, I have 1, 2, 3 hours in the week to contribute in different space. It's necessary to generate this uh, feeling about that different labor to contribute. It's not only in the work, it's necessary to create this feeling when for example, work not in the office. It's necessary to consider this feeling to other spaces. With, for example, speak with the children. What is important in my case for me. And other points with I like to contribute or share is about recognize uh, that have the opportunity to study. It not only focus in a person or share experience with a person about around the world is necessary too. However, is necessary to focus what happened about consider that different young people that don't have opportunity to study, or what is my contribution in my society, or what is the objective to generate inclusive society. What is the situation about equal access to the justice, or what is necessary to respect for human rights, including right of the to development, or what happened about the rule of law or generate the good government. This is in this case, in the case of the work in the government in a different level too, or generate this space to share experience, to share knowledge about the transparent, effective, to generate a good government, not only government is institution, for example. Okay, what's the role in my case the people to contribute in the society? What I see that these more questions that I ask um, around in my mind, or around the week, around in the month. I consider what is the role, or what happened about me, or what happened about you in the role and objective with the society. In the case of the young people, in my work, in special, I am interested to work with the young people, uh, because I investigate about the situation, or the different situation about the young people. For example, there are currently 1.2 billion young people between age 15, 20, and 24. Of the, for example, 16% of the world's population. But the 2030, the target date of the Sustainable Development Goals, what is the information about this paper, is estimated that the number of young people will have increased by 7%, for example, reaching almost 1.3 billion. Uh, Young people need to acquire the education and skill necessary to contribute a productive economic, and they need access to the labor market. The, for example, in my case, in my experience, I have opportunity to work with young people. Okay, but that is necessary to discuss, because in the group, create or have a different question about what happened about my career, about the future, what happened about my position in the labor market. I It's necessary to create or generate a diagnostic about the situation. Is not only, for example, have the finished my master degree, or finish some course to contribute, generate abilities, or generate good opportunities to the future. However, I it's necessary to to generate this point, and discuss with people what happened, uh, with the people with most experience, because it's necessary to have a focus about the reality, about the different opportunities, and create different opportunities to other people. In my case, I consider this topic resilience, because around my experience, or around the different experience, whether this is speak, or for example different professionals, or different uh, person have shared different experience about the reality, about the situation, is not only a professional, it's only is to the focus about the person, personality, generate different aspect, or generate different ability to contribute, in not only in the work, in the work. It's okay to. However, in my case, I generate that this ability to resilience, because when I have a different situation, bad situation, good situation, it's important to take the focus or the objective, and step by step is necessary to consider too. But I have it's necessary to have the opportunity to all other people. For example, in my case, I had opportunity to participate in different NGOs about the entrepreneurships, with the family depend on the entrepreneurship. However, the reality, the situation, the community have the different problem to generate this a good entrepreneurship. However, they have the knowledge about this situation. In my case, I generate some feeling with this group, and generate more hours to contribute in this group. And I have the opportunity to know other other type of the uh, group of person, and I consider it is my growth. Okay. And it's necessary, for example, when I uh, have a work with young people, what is the agenda about the young people in relation with the United Nations, for example. In this case, the United Nations job agenda is guided by the World Program for Action for Job, and it's covered 15 priorities areas down and contains different proposals for action in each of these areas, adopted by a General Assembly in, in 19 approximately. However, I recognize 15 areas, priority areas. However, in my case, I choose some points. For example, it's a focus or priority areas is about education, employment, health, environment, job and development, juvenile delinquency. This is a bad problem with the society. And girls and young women is necessary to focus to what's the role about the women in the society. Okay. Other point is, for example, fun effective participation of the young people in the life society and in the decision making is important because uh, the more percent of the population is the young people around the world, and this group of people consider or have with a different focus about a society, about the role in the society too. What is the focus? I have, for example, I have that experience about the okay in the what type of what kind of people of in this case the the work in the position about the decision making is more than 14 years, 45 years. However, what happened about the young people? It's possible that the people have the role in the society when I position or the other position or the major position level about the making decisions is a good question. The globalization is other point too important, and information and communication technology, and it's important too because the focus about the technology or the artificial intelligence is a change to the society, not only the young people, and generate different issues to the young people. It's important to focus in intergenerational issues because it's necessary to create this space to participate. Not only young people, it's all people. For example, because it's the create this space between two groups of people. I think that is that the result the good result for the different take of decision or different solution. Um, other points is necessary to what is the role of the young in the community. For example, a community volunteer service for the young. This create a technological change, particularly in development countries, should correlate to the creation of employment opportunities for young in the sectors as a result of technological innovation, for example. Implementation of the program, what I mentioned in some minutes, is a program of action requires that young people, the world, the world enjoy all human rights and fundamental freedoms, and also it requires government participation to take the effective action and recognize the different roles that the non-discrimination, you have the space to tolerance, respect of the, to avoid the diversity, and respect for human rights and fundamental freedoms. Okay, it's a good, I consider this word to generate a good space to work or consider that respect in all group of people. In mass implementation, for example, establish the for example, international, regional, and national cooperation in different countries and contribute to the solution, different solution to the young policies. It's important to focus this when that in our own all politics, for example, focus. But okay, and I speak about the role of the young people, or what happened about the situation, or great diagnostic about the young people. What happened about the in this case assets of the young people? It's great that it not only work with young people, it's only work with the young leadership. Okay, consider it as a set of the agent of change. Yeah, I consider me, I consider you, or all people, or young people in general, with the agents of change. Ability to promote SDG is a good point. Many young organization collective, different collective, are this not only that have stood out in having initiative or to influence some needs of population, and in the case of that COVID-19, for example, when I more years ago, even the government was still performing. What make the role of the leader? What make, for example, we must know the people who we work on in our teams, or see how to work with each one of them. Have the ability to solve a different problem. Know how to delegate this task. Give yourself space to talk with a member of a group. Have an open and innovative mind and generate this space. And build trust with team members and know how to communicate what is being asked. And I choose some points to the characteristics to the good leader, in special to the good young leader. Um, and I consider these points about my topics in resident because it's necessary to focus about um, the special independent of the special experience in around the world. For example, in my case, I have the opportunity to participate in different space in different NGOs. With my role was a guide because it's necessary to know not only experience in this case of the in the office, or the work in the office. It's necessary to generate the change. I consider an agent of change because it's not only the mind in my mind to of my law my role about okay it's necessary to create more experience, not only for studies, not only for experience in the labor. um is necessary to focus about the growth in different person. I consider that different person have a different time uh, to focus about the objective to the goals, and it depends on the people. All people are different. Okay. However, it's necessary to have that guide, or to have the different motion when I have the different activity to contribute to the society, or for example when I different people work in the community. Okay, and finally my messages is did only have for example have the work. It not only have the in different in this case experience about data topics when I have experience to work. It's necessary to generate this knowledge, to increase the knowledge, participate in different events in different organizations, or for example, or have the opportunity to speak with other people because it's necessary to change the life. It's not only for me. It's necessary to change the life with, for example, help other people, and I consider this one phrases or one word is necessary to change the life. Thank you so much.
from USA on resilience as a tool for growth. Growth is essential for capacity. Growth is what is meant by increase. It's what we mean by expansion. So at this junction, I'm giving it to everyone that never take your growth for granted for the next level. You have it all. Stay tuned for the last lap of this grand finale. Increase capacity and navigate mind that as you go to the world there, even in this present dispensation, you have to do something different. Don't be common, be uncommon in all that you are doing. And that's how you can win. You're welcome.